Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with another battle report. So we tried something new last weekend. We did an impromptu game of a 6,000 point per side combined fight. And just the way it worked out, there was a Beast of Chaos army, a Warriors of Chaos army, a Dark Elf army, and my Bretonnians. And since nobody matched up well with Bretonnians, we put the Dark Elves with my team and just said, hey, let's have this big combined game. Well, since we were suspicious allies, we didn't really want to mix our troops up, and so um, we kind of naturally separated, and then our opponents naturally separated, and so we ended up kind of having just two games going on next to each other with minimal impact on each other. One important impact, though, is that we just treated the magic phase as normal, and so for each player there was significantly less magic dice, which I always kind of like, and a couple things added into it. So anyway, I'm really only going to report on my half of the game, even though I did take pictures of the whole game. I wasn't really watching closely to what they were doing. The whole game lasted like 5 hours, and I didn't have the attention to remember all that kind of stuff. So you'll see a little bit as we go along. So anyway, it's a pitched battle. Um, on my side, you see a Pegasus Knights Errant with Errantry banner, some bowmen, my heroic killing blow lord. I've got 50 men at arms there on the left. Facing me, he's got some marauders on horseback. He's got 10 Chaos Knights with the banner of rage and the mark of Tzeentch. Next to them, he's got some Chaos Warriors with the banner of they cause terror and all units are within 6 inches are stubborn. Then he's got, I believe, 10 Chaos Ogres with great weapons. Let's see, next to my men-at-arms, I've got a trebuchet, 9 knights, or questy knights, 50 more men-at-arms. These guys I deployed in horde formation. Actually, that's not true. Both my men-at-arms units, I have 51 instead of 50, just because I had points for it. I've also got a level 1 damsel with Lore of Beasts in there, and she's got the prayer icon of Quinellus, so that horde formation men-at-arms unit has the same ward save as my knights. Got some more peg knights up there in the woods. On the far right of this screen, I've got 15, actually I think I have 13 Knights of the Realm. Battle Standard Bearer with him, he has a 2-up rerollable. I've got a level 4 Prophetess with Lore of Life, and she has a feedback scroll, which I'll probably forget to mention, but didn't end up doing anything this game. Anyway, if you look at the top, he's got another Warriors unit. This one has his General, and I have no idea what he has on him. And at the top left, he's got a Chaos Giant. I obviously have another Trebuchet and some more Archers. So sorry for that being so brief. And this is where the board's met up, and technically it is all one game, and so, that's how it started out. So he gets first turn, of course. He moves up, as you can see. Now that forest is I think it's called a venom thicket, but whatever it is, if you're in it, you suffer from stupidity. So that will come into play later. Otherwise, you can see he's just moving up. Now he brings his giant on the other side of this house, presumably because he doesn't want him going through the river because he can't march. Which, whatever. So we go to my turn. Yeah, I decided not to really charge anything. My plan is to shoot those marauders. I move my peg knights up out of the way just so they have some potential flank charges next turn. Move here, as you can see. Now this is on the far right side of the board, my right, looking inward. This is what my peg knights see. And over here, not a whole lot going on. So my archers shoot at the marauders. I kill 2, but they're still alive. I'm not particularly worried about them. Trebuchets were totally ineffective all game long, so this one misfired this turn. And what was so funny is when he brought his giant around the house, my opponent chose to take his crossbows and shoot at the giant instead of shooting at the gore coming at him, or the ungore coming at him. So I don't remember why he did that, but I appreciated it. So he put some wounds on the giant over there. So what I was doing here when I moved my first turn, I figure he's going to charge something with his marauders just to get them out of the way, and then he's going to charge something with his Chaos Knights. So I'm really hoping that he charges my men-at-arms. If he charges my bowmen, I'm just going to flee. Um, he's so far away from my knights errant and my general and my questing knights that I really don't think he's going to charge them. And if he does, I'm just going to stand there because I think he'll fail it. He's got a decent chance of getting to the men-at-arms, and if he does, he's going to kill a slew of them. I'll be steadfast 9, and then I'll have questing knights, knights errant, and my killing blow lord in his flank on my next turn, or at least that's the plan. So we go to Warriors Chaos turn 2, and he did what I expected. The Warriors, the Marauders on the right, do a sacrifice charge into my Knights Errant just to get out of the way. The Chaos Knights charge my Bowmen. I flee, so then they redirect into the Men-at-Arms like I had hoped they would. Yep. So there's the Bowman running away like good peasants do. Otherwise, he just moves up, as you can see. Now this picture shows one thing that I was thinking about here was on my next turn what to do. My big fear is I need to charge that Chaos Knight unit, and I need to break them then on the charge. I really do not need that Warriors of Chaos unit counter-charging on his turn. And, I don't want to ruin this whole surprise for you, but basically, when these two units charge up, the Knights of the Realm and the Men-at-Arms, I charge into the woods against the Chaos Ogres, and one thing I wasn't considering was that the Men-at-Arms would stick out wide enough that they actually blocked the Warriors from countercharging. Would it be necessary, they would have blocked the Warriors from countercharging into the combined fight on the right. But I didn't really see that. So anyway, his turn, you can see he's moving his giant around, moving these guys up. I love that his lord is in this unit way over here. It's going to be tough for them to really do anything. What he really needs to do with the unit is to bring them as quickly as he can around that statue and get into the fight that really matters. So his Chaos Knights charging here, they killed, I don't know, at least 13 men-at-arms. I passed my Steadfast 9, and I'm very happy with how that turned out. The Knights Errant made short work of the Marauder unit. Marauder unit broke. We did not pursue. Instead, we reformed to make sure I was within line of sight of the Chaos Knights. And we go to Bretonnian turn 2. So first off, we dual charge into the Chaos Ogre unit. I'm a little bit concerned about that. I was hoping to get some magic buffs off. And as you can see, I did get Throne of Vines. My champion failed his dangerous terrain test, which is funny. I passed it with all those other guys. I failed with my champion. That happens all the time. Over here, I get the flank charges that I needed, and I could have taken the Pegasus Knights in the rear, but I felt that I would probably give him more combat resolution through wounding my Pegasus Knights than I would do on him. So this is critical. I really need to not just do well here. I need to break him. We can't be tied up in combat with this Chaos Warrior unit countercharging. So if you look at the top left, I actually took my Peg Knights and charged into the flank of the Warrior unit because I just needed to hold them up. I was hoping to do enough wounds with that flank charge that maybe time up this turn and next turn he can beat those guys in combat, and I just don't care. And having a lord with 4 attacks with heroic killing blow, I was certainly glad I had on him. So there's those guys. This combat. These guys actually charged my archers into the giant. I was hoping just to beat him through combat res. Maybe I wasn't. I thought that Chaos Giants weren't stubborn, but found out later that he was. So that was I failed the charge anyway. It was kind of just a stupid move done out of ignorance. If he wasn't stubborn, I would have charged. I had a charge, a banner, a rank, and maybe got lucky on a wound or something. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So my opponent, or my teammate over here, the Dark Elves, decides he doesn't need his crossbows to help out with the fight, so he turns so he can shoot again at the giant, which I appreciate. And this is when the game is just really, really, really fun. We have these 3 combats going on, 2 of them fairly massive, and that's why you play a Warriors of Chaos army. It's just awesome. So these guys, they had a 5-up ward save. I know they have the Mark of Tzeentch and they have the Banner of Rage. The Zinch one, I think, gives him the 6-up save. I don't know how they got a 5-up save, but he did pass a ton of 5-up saves. In fairness, though, I think that he rolled poorly when trying to wound my men-at-arms. That's the big problem with my whole strategy, was if he kills enough men-at-arms that he'll do enough combat res and negate everything else that I do. But I know that my general got 2 killing blows, and both of them he saved with a 5-up ward save. It was heartbreaking. When all was said and done, he needed a 5 to stick, and his BSB was nearby. His BSB makes every unit within 6 inches stubborn, and he was like 6¼ inches away. Thank goodness. He needed a 5, and he got it. And I'm thinking, wow, that's just harsh. Because if you look, the Pegasus Knights have broken from the Warriors unit, and he did not pursue them, so they are set up to charge. And had I not charged the Pegasus Knights in, his Warriors unit would not have been able to do a reform. They reformed so they could charge past the men-at-arms and get into that combat. If I hadn't charged the Peg Knights in, they wouldn't have been able to charge around my men-at-arms. It really was a tactical just flaw on my part, charging the Peg Knights in there. Anyway, this combat went about as well as I could have expected. He killed a bunch of men-at-arms. I killed some of his guys. We're locked for a while, and I'm really just not sure how that's going to be. The one thing that's helping is I've thrown a Vines off, as well as the spell that he takes because of the Throne of Vines, 2d6 strength 4 hits at the end of every magic phase, and so I'm really hoping that'll help whittle down this, this ogre unit with just tons of wounds sitting there. So another view, and we go to Warriors turn 3. So his giant charges my bowman. I pass my terror test, do a stand and shoot, and kill him because he was sitting on 1 wound thanks to all the Dark Elf shooting. I thought that was great. His general's Warrior of Chaos Army charged into my flank, and I think I just stood there because, I mean, I could have fled, but who really cared? At this point, that Warrior unit was out of the fight. I felt, for all intents and purposes, so it just really didn't matter. Here's his Warriors of Chaos Army charging into the flank of my Questy Knights. This is just going to be devastating. I needed to have broken him on the charge, and I didn't, and that's going to be rough. So there's his general's unit into the flank of those bowmen. They don't have a chance. So after combat said and done, yeah, he broke me. Now, I did pretty well killing a bunch of his Chaos Knights, but he just had enough combat res. All 4 of my units broke. He pursued the men-at-arms with his Chaos Knights and caught him. He pursued my Questy Knights with his Warriors unit and didn't catch him. Not that it's really going to matter. My Knights Errant fled off the board, and my general is where you can see him. I was really disappointed that I rolled so high for my Knights Errant flee movement, but what you going to do? So over here we're still duking it out. My Battle Standard Bearer is in a challenge with his champion, and it's really scary. I've got a 2-up rerollable, but this guy is strength 6. It basically puts a wound on me, and then I'm just hoping during my magic phase to get spells off so I can heal that wound. But we're plugging along there. You can see I'm losing a lot of men-at-arms. He's losing a lot of ogres. Before I was skeptical about how this is going to turn out, but now I'm starting to think that I've got a decent chance of getting through these guys. And he chose not to dispel the Shield of Thorns, so that's only helping my cause. So we go to Brett turn 3. So here I decided I just needed to take a chance. I charged the Peg Knights into the rear of the Chaos Knights, and I charged the Bowmen into their front, which at face value is a real mistake because I'm going to give up so much combat res through him killing Bowmen that I may not win the combat. But my plan was to do a beefed up version of the toughness spell and be able to buff the Bowmen up so that it wouldn't be easy for him to kill him, and then break the Chaos Knights right then and there. So here's hoping that works. After combat, we were finally able to win combat by enough to break the ogres, and my men-at-arms ran them down. My BSB's unit decided just to reform, just to open up options with that Chaos Warrior unit, and to pose a threat to maybe affect some of the decisions he makes. And over here, I was able to get the buffness spell off, I believe. I must have, because he didn't do any wounds on my guys. I think he directed all his attacks backward, thinking he'd get a better chance of wounding the Peg Knights. Either way, we break them. Both my units chose to pursue him, and that was a rules question that I honestly wasn't sure about. I know that each of my units has to choose only one unit to pursue, but can two of my units choose the same unit? And I assume they can. But anyway, my Peg Knights ran him down and got out of the charge arc of his warriors, which is what I really wanted. The bowman obviously didn't. So on his turn, he charged my Questy Knights, and I just fled off the board, and then he redirected into my Trebuchet. And in hindsight, that was a big mistake. What I was thinking was he was going to get them all anyway. But what I should have stuck with my Questy Knights, let him beat me, let him overrun into the Trebuchet, and then we would have fought that on my turn, and I could have come in his rear with my, other units. Whatever, it's just a mistake. Here on the right, his Marauder on horseback needed Snake Eyes to rally, and he rallied. And this is looking towards the Dark Elf fight going on. This is the unit that beat my Bowman, and now they're so far away from everything happening on our side of the board, he's started to move over to join the other fight. I don't know if I have any more pictures of this. Basically, they never did anything the rest of the game. They're really kind of too far away from those Bowmen. So they're just kind of over there. After this, this unit killed my Trebuchet, and I was kind of expecting him to run off the board so that he wouldn't be countercharged on my turn, and he decided just to reform. So we go to my turn. And I don't remember my thinking. Obviously, I didn't charge with my... Oh, wait, okay, so here's... Yeah, I didn't charge with my Knight of the Realm unit because I didn't have enough supporting attacks coming in. So I just moved everybody up so that on my next turn I could do just a bunch of dual charges. What I have to do is I have to kill his Battle Standard Bearer. So my thinking is I need to get my general in there. I can issue challenges to protect my general from too many attacks coming at him. He'll probably accept with the champion first turn. I should kill him, and then I need to kill his Battle Standard Bearer. Until he's dead, I'm never going to break this unit. There'll be Stubborn 9, I think, rerollable. So I didn't think I could get my general in the fight this turn. He was too far away, so I didn't want to charge in with my Knights of the Realm solo. So that's what I did there. I brought some Peg Knights over to charge his Marauder, so I can get some free points. And I didn't see this unit of 1.5 guys doing a whole lot of good elsewhere. So really just another angle on the board. You can see my Men-at-Arms I've turned around to help give some combat res should I need it. My archers shoot the remaining Marauder, so I don't have to worry about charging it with my Peg Knights. And we go to Warriors turn 5. He charges my Battle Standard Bearers unit and fails the charge. So now everything's set up for my counter charges. I'm seeing Knights of the Realm in his front, my general in his flank, general issuing a challenge. And even though I have other things there, I'm really thinking that's all I want to do. Even the Peg Knights coming in, I'm just worried that the last time I tried that, his warriors beat up my Peg Knights, gave him too much combat res. So I'm thinking that's what I need to do. General's job is to get that BSB dead as quickly as possible. So we go to Bretonnian turn 5, and my Knight of the Realm unit fails their stupidity test, even though they're 8 rerollable, and they stumble forward. Are you freaking kidding me? So now it doesn't make sense to charge in with anybody else, because what the heck is anybody else going to do? So the best laid plans of mice and men. I mean, what do you... so great. Just freaking great. So we go to Warriors turn 6. He gets an easy flank charge into my unit. The nice thing here is my Prophetess has the Crown of Command, which I just love this build. Putting her with a bunch of Knights of the Realm, with giving them magic resistance, giving them stubborn. I just really like that build. So he's going to come in. He's going to kill me a bunch of my guys. I'm going to be stubborn. But the problem here is he issues a challenge with his Battle Standard Bearer. I don't have a champion because he died a long time ago. So I really have to accept my Battle Standard Bearer or lose my ward save on all these guys. If I accept with my BSB, I'm never going to kill his Battle Standard Bearer, so therefore I'm never going to break him. I ended up accepting with him, and I really just think that was a mistake, because it'd be better just to lose the ward save on everybody and not get my BSB locked into a challenge. I need my general to come in and kill his Battle Standard Bearer. So anyway, that's just a look at the board over there. That's it after combat. It's what I thought would happen. Happened. He killed several, but we stuck. And at the end of the game, probably if this is a tournament, I wouldn't have even charged in because there was nothing to be gained. I knew I couldn't kill his BSB because my BSB certainly wasn't going to do it. I was hoping just to keep my guy alive. I really don't think, even if I win combat, I'm just not going to break them. So when all is said and done, I won combat and I didn't break them. And there we go. So that was the end of the game. We He had his both Warriors units left alive, his battle standard bearer and his general, and I think he had a spellcaster still alive. And even with all that, I think we figured I won by 300 or 400 points. So it very much felt like a draw. Technically, I won. It was funny though because we were saying earlier it doesn't make sense for Bretonnians to team up against with Dark Elves, and we were saying, well, maybe when this game is over, we'll take the remnants of whoever wins each side and turn them against each other. And if we had done that, I would have gotten destroyed. The Dark Elf army just slaughtered the Beastman army. I don't think they lost anything, and I was pretty beat up by this stage. So yeah, but anyway, but that was the game. Hope you enjoyed it.